All right, hi, welcome back here to Zimbrick Buick GMC. Phil Leotow here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2012 Sierra Heavy Duty. This is our biggest truck, and it is also a very, very capable vehicle. The particular car we're going to be looking at here today is a 1-ton crew cab long box dually. So this is as big as they get from GMC. It's also a very capable vehicle in that, configured like this vehicle with the Duramax diesel and the dual rear wheels, you've got a 17,000 pound tow rating if you use the conventional hitch, or 22,700 pounds using a gooseneck trailer, which I believe is the highest rating available on any truck today. So it's a very capable vehicle. The nice thing about the GMC trucks is, even though it has this heavy hauling capacity and towing capabilities, it's still a very smooth riding vehicle. GMC has done several things this year to make this vehicle even more comfortable for the owner. A couple of things we can talk about is we have a fully boxed frame on this vehicle, starting from the front bumper all the way back to the spare tire carrier in the rear of the vehicle. Fully boxed frame. It's about 70% stiffer torsionally than any other frame on the market. What this stiff frame does is it allows the designers to configure the suspension to do its job, to make the vehicle ride real nice and smooth, as well as supporting the weight. But it also makes this by far the smoothest riding and quietest of any heavy-duty truck that's available in America today. The addition of this vehicle with the crew cab, it also has what are called hydraulic body mounts, which are similar to motor mounts that they use for the engine. This body is mounted onto the frame using these hydraulic mounts, which also help absorb shock and vibration that would normally be coming into the cabin of the vehicle. Again, giving it a much smoother, quieter ride than any of its competitors. The Duramax diesel in this vehicle is also very capable. It's rated at 397 horsepower and 780 pound-feet of torque. So it will basically pull a Fisher and the Earth back together if you need to do something like that. It also has among the highest fuel economy in its class, starting with the 2011 models. They started using what's called diesel exhaust fluid. What this does is it allows the engine to burn much cleaner, and also really enhances the fuel economy because the diesel particulate filter does not have to regenerate as often as it would in a vehicle that's not using the exhaust fluid. Very comfortable cabin. Take a look here at the inside of the vehicle. We've got 4 full-size doors. You've also got class-leading leg room in both the front and the rear seat areas. And the versatility in the back is very nice too, because you have the capability, move these rubber mats out of the way, of folding up the seat like this, just giving it a yank, and you've got a nice flat load floor in the back. I've got an owner, for example, leaves his golf clubs under the back seat here, so they're safely stored inside the vehicle. Doesn't have to worry about theft on the vehicle at all either. Back windows also go all the way down. Several additional comfort and convenience features are available on this vehicle. If you like, you can get sunroof, DVD players for the kids, GPS navigation as well. The vehicle also has Bluetooth for the cell phone. There's also a USB port in the vehicle, so if you have digital music players, iPods, iPads, things of that nature, you can play them in the vehicle, charge them at the same time, as well as control them using your radio controls inside the vehicle as well too. Very capable that way. The dual rear wheels in the back give it additional cargo capacity. And if you take a look underneath the vehicle here, one thing I'd like to point out on our heavy-duty trucks, if you take a look right in the front there, see where that round hole is, okay? Look right where my finger's pointing, right over there. That is one of the cross members of the frame. GM is the only manufacturer that uses a round cross member that goes fully through that fully boxed frame, and it's welded on both the inside and the outside. That's part of what contributes to that torsional rigidity It's kind of like a ladder that has dowels that go through the side of the ladder, and they're glued and screwed as opposed to just having nails pushed in from the end, which is the way most of our competitors build their trucks. You've also got rubber jounce stops under here, so when you are carrying a heavy load and you do happen to bottom out the suspension, you don't have to worry about that, transmitting additional shock into the vehicle as well too. 8-foot box on this vehicle. It's also available with a 6.5-foot box. One of the other things that GM does a little bit differently, if you take a look inside here, we've got an optional bed mat. But if you look inside this bed, what you don't see is screw heads and bolt tops. Most other manufacturers bolt their box onto the frame, and then those bolt heads stick up inside the box of the vehicle. When you're sliding that antique coffee table in there, the leg of the table hits that bolt head and snaps right off. I've had a neighbor that had that exact thing happen to him. With the way this vehicle bed is mounted, the frame is bolted onto a cross member that is actually welded to the bottom of the box, so you have no intrusion inside the bottom of the box. Also, you have lots of cargo management features inside the box of this vehicle. You can have three different levels of storage in the back. You've got little indentations on the top of the wheel wells here. That allows you to place a 2x10 across the top to create a second layer for loading. Up here you've also got indentations that will hold a 2x6, so you can actually have a third layer in there. This way, by laying 2x6s across there, for example, you can lay 4x8 sheets of plywood or wallboard on top of those, and then still have all the cargo area underneath the vehicle as well too. You've also got an easy lift tailgate. There's a torsional spring down in the bottom here, so it's a very easy vehicle to lift up the tailgate on. And this is a load supporting tailgate. Evenly distributed, this will support a 1,000-pound load. So if you're driving, for example, ATVs up into the back of the vehicle using a ramp, you're not going to bend and flex on the tailgate. Try that on a Ford or a Toyota. Watch what happens to the tailgate when you drive that ATV up onto there. It's also very easily removable. This particular vehicle also has the optional backup camera here, which will actually show you an image in the rear view mirror when you put the car in reverse to show you what is behind you as you're backing up. We've also got backup sensors here in the rear bumpers. Those provide an audible indicator of how close you're getting to an obstacle. And if you're towing and you want to back the thing up to your boat, what happens if you're by yourself and you don't have somebody to stand out here? Well, what you do here, you pull the tailgate a little bit open, pull your cable up here, hook it on that pin. Now that backup camera is pointing directly at the hitch and the ball down at the bottom here, mounted in the receiver. So you look like an expert when you back this thing up to your trailer. It gives you a little bit of bragging rights out there at the boat launch. As I mentioned earlier, you've got a 17,000-pound towing capacity using the receiver hitch there, and if you use a gooseneck mounted into the bed or a fifth wheel type trailer, that kicks the towing capacity up to 22,700 pounds. This vehicle also has gooseneck wiring built in. There's a separate set of wires with a wiring harness that comes in between the bed and the box here, so your wiring is all set for the gooseneck. It also has pre-drilled bosses in the frame for most of the major fifth wheel and gooseneck hitches, so they will bolt right in. You don't have to do any extra drilling or tapping of holes or anything like that to mount the gooseneck inside the trailer. Very capable vehicle. This is something that you really have to drive it to believe how nice of a vehicle this can be, being a 1-ton heavy-duty truck like this. This is by far the most comfortable and capable vehicle in its class. So if you'd like to drive it, come on down here to Zimbrick Buick GMC West on the Beltline and take it out for a spin. And remember to ask for Phil. And hope to see you soon.